Beneath the veneer of skepticism, reality bears witness to chilling truths. In the haunting corridors of history, where shadows dance with undeniable evidence, remember this, the stories are true.
Hey there! You know how I love a good ghost story, right? Well, let me tell you about one of the creepiest yet oddly fascinating tales I've come across. It's about the ghostly nurse haunting an old hospital in Los Angeles. This one's so chilling and weirdly fun that it's practically begging to be shared. So, picture this. You're in this really old hospital in LA, the kind that's been around since the early 1900s. It's the middle of the night, and everything's quiet. The hallways are dimly lit, with flickering lights adding to the spooky atmosphere. Patients and staff alike have reported seeing this nurse who just doesn't fit in with the rest. This nurse isn't your typical modern medical professional. No, she's dressed in an old-fashioned uniform, a white dress, apron, and one of those neat little caps they used to wear back in the day. People who have seen her say she looks like she stepped straight out of a history book. Here's the kicker. She's a ghost. Yep, you heard me right. This nurse, who seems so dedicated to her duties, is actually an apparition. Witnesses often spot her performing typical nursing tasks, like checking on patients or walking down the hallways. But when someone tries to approach her or get a closer look, she disappears around corners or vanishes into thin air. Talk about a disappearing act. The story goes that this ghostly nurse might be the spirit of a nurse who worked at the hospital in the early 20th century. There are plenty of theories about why she's still around. Some say she died tragically, perhaps during an epidemic or an accident, and now she's stuck in the afterlife, still caring for the sick and injured. The hospital staff have even given her a name, Nurse Betty. She's become a bit of a legend among the night shift. Some people find her presence comforting, believing she's there to watch over the patients. There was this one time a patient woke up in the early hours, thirsty and unable to find the call button. They decided to walk to the nurse's station and, you guessed it, ran into Nurse Betty. They called out for help, but she just turned and walked away, disappearing around a corner. The patient, confused and a bit annoyed, tried to follow her but found nothing. Then, out of nowhere, there she was again, silently walking down another hallway before fading away like a mist. The next morning, the patient told one of the day nurses about the encounter. The nurse just nodded knowingly and said, "Oh, you met our ghostly nurse. She's been here forever." Apparently, seeing Nurse Betty is almost a rite of passage for anyone spending a night in that hospital. So, if you ever find yourself in an old LA hospital and see a nurse in a vintage uniform, you might want to think twice before following her. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story of the ghostly nurse is one of those spine-tingling tales that you just can't shake off. It's a perfect mix of scary and strangely heartwarming, a nurse so dedicated to her patients that not even death could stop her. Next time you're in a hospital late at night, keep an eye out for Nurse Betty. And if you see her, well, just remember, some legends are true and some ghosts never leave their post.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the unexplained. We hope these mysteries have sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to delve deeper into the unknown. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop seeking the truth.